Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is What If Naruto Took His Ninja Life Seriously Part 5, and this is the final part. So, last time we left off with Naruto destroying Kakazu, and he froze him, and they did take his body back to examine it, and also we went over the Itachi arc, and so now, and we also went over Jiraiya mastering Sage Mode, and he's about to go. He tells Tsunade that he's going to go and fight Pain, and Tsunade's like no, but then Jiraiya does still make the bet: if I come back alive, you will go out with me, and if I don't, well, I'm dead. And Tsunade makes the bet because if he wins, he comes back, and if she loses, he dies, and she knows she always loses, so she tries it. But in the original, that was her first time winning a bet, and she was sad about it. And in here, so so Jiraiya is able to pretty much destroy all the Pains except for the Diva Path, and he does get annihilated by the Diva Path. He's about to get killed, but he does do the reverse summoning jutsu, and so he retreats and realizes that Naruto is the only one who can beat him, but he has to master Sage Mode. So he takes Naruto to train with Sage Mode, and while so the attack on the village will happen like a week later, and Naruto does master sorry guys, I'm reading it completely wrong, I'm really tired. Naruto masters Sage Mode in a week, so he comes back a week before the fight against Pain. And so Nagato fixes all the Pains and they attack the village, but this time Naruto is in mastered Sage Mode, and he is with Jiraiya, who has mastered Sage Mode as well. And this time not only them two fight, but even Kakashi, Tsunade, Shino, Hinata, Sakura, they all fight as well. All the Rookie 9 as well, and also Neji's team. Naruto does freeze like two of the paths, the healing one, so the King of Hell path, and also the human path, so they can't take people's tongues or souls. So and then Jiraiya's like Rasen Shuriken with 2 clones, because he can do it without having 3 clones doing one. He can do one by himself, and he throws 2 of them with a clone, one with a clone and one himself, and he destroys those 2 paths. And then the human path, the summoning path summons all the beasts, and Naruto and Jiraiya summon 3. Toads, Naruto summons 2 and Jiraiya summons 1, because Jiraiya is still kind of injured, so Naruto's like, let me summon 2. And so they still do fight the beasts, and they are defeated. And also the summoning path does get destroyed by Hinata and Shino working together. They froze it. Well, she wasn't completely frozen, because Shino's Hinata is not as good as Naruto, who can just touch the floor and freeze wherever he wants. She has to literally physically touch them or hit them to freeze, and Shino's bugs have to completely be on their back or on them, and then they have to turn into ice. But since they're small, they won't do much. So one bug could do like a little, let's say like 5 centimeters of your skin, and 5 centimeters long, and 5 centimeters in length and 2 centimeters in width. So it's pretty dead. So and the path does dodge most of the bugs. So then Hinata, since Hinata does appear out of nowhere, and she does the 64 palms, 128 palms. Yes, she learns that, and she completely freezes the path. And then Shino decides to come and just tap punch her and let one of those bugs that destroyed one of those weak 10 tails is the army of the 10 tails. Yeah, how he just punched one, and then a bug went inside it and it just came out as 4 different bugs, massive. Yeah, he does that and the path is destroyed, and everyone's kind of disgusted by this because that was kind of gruesome. And by the way, Yamato, Sai and Yamato, Sai and I forgot her name. Yeah, Anko, Yamato, and Sai are still out on a mission, so they're not there. And Naruto's fighting off the Diva Path, and he's kind of destroying it because he did freeze its arm, and the Diva Path that did try to take out, melt the ice by just increasing the heat of his arm with his chakra. But then Naruto said, "No, you don't," and says vanish, and just throws a Rasengan. It's a vanishing Rasengan, and he says Rasengan instead of vanishing Rasengan this time because he doesn't want the Diva Path to know that it's a vanishing Rasengan. He'll just give it away. And the Diva Path is not is that you're running low on chakra, Naruto Uzumaki. Look, your Rasengan couldn't even reach me. And Naruto's like, "Are you sure about that?" And then the Diva Path says, as you can see, nothing happened to me. And as soon as he says nothing happened to me, his arm just gets blasted off, and he's like, "What the?" And then he says, and then he sees Jiraiya behind him and decides to do an almighty push and pushes every single one of them away, even his own paths. Like the absorbing path gets pushed away. And wait, how many paths did we destroy? So the human path, the summoning path, the king of hell path. Oh, so the absorbing path and the astral path, the one that shoots missiles, they get pushed away. And as soon as they get pushed, Naruto decides that it's his chance to freeze both of them, and he puts both of his arms and hands on the floor and says, "Great iceberg jutsu." So basically he makes 2 massive icebergs, and the 2 paths are inside it, and then he tells them to break the ice before they somehow melt it or something. And Tsunade and Sakura do come in then, and they break the 2 icebergs in one punch, and the 2 paths of pain are in smithereens. They're literally little sparkles of ice. So Naruto's like, "Hey, Diva Path, you have pain. You don't have any chance against us." And Jiraiya's like, "Just tell me, Yahiko, is that you?" And Pain says, "Yahiko, that used to be my old name till I have passed away." And Yahiko does tell the story that basically Naruto told, and Naruto's like, "But listen, I can basically," he does give his talk no jutsu. It kind of works, but he works on Nagato, but Nagato, it's too late. Nagato did already throw out his little chakra ball, which then the Diva Path does with one arm. The planetary devastation, and the whole village is starting to, well, they're fighting outside the village because they basically pushed them away from the village. They're around like a mountain area, and all the mountains are getting, the planetary devastation is occurring. And Naruto's like, what we're gonna do? But since Kakashi is there, and Kakashi's like, we have to all. Kakashi is pretty smart. I didn't give him much of a fight here, and Kakashi's that we all have to throw our strongest jutsu into the into the core of the planetary devastation, because he did hear the name. And Naruto decides to do the Rasen Shuriken and adds ice release and lightning release to make it a vanishing Rasen Shuriken with ice release. So basically, as soon as he throws it, he says, "I got this, guys." So he says, "I got this," and basically destroys it with one move because of his vanishing Rasen Shuriken with the ice release on it, and destroys the Diva Path. And then, well, basically, as soon as they're falling down, Jiraiya decides to throw a Rasen Shuriken, even though he doesn't want to kill Yahiko, but he knows that Yahiko is basically dead now already. So he just throws a Rasen Shuriken, and the Diva Path can't do anything. Even if he dodges, there's no point of it because he's just going to get annihilated by all of them. So he just lets it happen and gets destroyed. And Nagato does come to that mounty area with Conan, and they do say that they give up since there weren't any casualties. Nagato doesn't have to use the reanimation jutsu. So I mean, not reanimation jutsu, the Rin rebirth. Yeah, Gedo style. I think, what was the Gedo style? I'm not. I can't remember. It's irrelevant. So Nagato does basically say that he wants to join them, and he believes that Naruto's ninja way will get the peace that he desires so much. So Nagato does still get healed because he was dying out of chakra loss. Basically, he was literally out of chakra, and I said Hinata. Tsunade was started to heal him because he was kind of injured because of the black rods. So they take them out, and Nagato is now becomes a leaf shinobi because he realizes that the rain is completely gone. They don't deserve the salvation right now, but he will go back one day and try to save it with Conan once he gets stronger. And Nagato and Conan do stay with the leaf, and they become leaf shinobi, so they start living there until the 5 Kage summit is. And now we skip back to Sasuke. Sasuke is fighting. Sasuke finds Killer B, and they start the fight. That fight goes a bit worse for Killer B because Sasuke is more Sasuke is more enraged that Tobi told him that Naruto is still stronger than him. Obito told him, and he decides to use his Kirin with the fire release on it straight away and try to capture Killer B. But Killer B, instead of doing that, he does turn into his 8 tails, and then Jugo says, because Sasuke needs some time to prepare the jutsu, prepare all his chakra to do the most powerful Kirin he's ever done, but he's still not going to try to kill. Jugo does cut. Jugo and Suigetsu cut one tentacle off of not the full tentacle, just a little bit of the tentacle. And B decides to the 8 tails says, "Hey B, substitute yourself with it," and so B does, and they capture B with the Kirin, and they think they captured B, and they take him back to the Akatsuki. The fight was pretty much the same, just they finished way quicker, and Sasuke didn't use his Mangekyou Sharingan yet because he wants to save it just for what's his name, Danzo, and because he knows that you will go blind if you overuse it, and he realized that Killer B could be taken down with his Kirin, but he did have to amplify the strength just by activating the Mangekyou Sharingan, not actually using the ability, so he doesn't go blind. He just activated it, and he realized he's still losing some eyesight just by activating it, and he realizes that he shouldn't activate it until he finds Danzo. So the 5 Kage summit is happening. So Tsunade takes Kakashi, and no, she wants to leave Kakashi to guard the village because she doesn't want Danzo to take over, and she leaves Kakashi back, and she takes Guy and Jiraiya, and Naruto wants to go, but because the Raikage wants to literally murder Sasuke because of what he did, and Naruto wants to convince the Raikage not to do it, and Tsunade promises him that you have to I'll do it, you just stay back and protect the village in case something happens. And he does, and she says, okay, you better keep your promise. And then Tsunade, once she goes and the 5 Kage summit begins. So as soon as it begins, they a few hours later, a few minutes later after it begins, Sasuke has arrived to the village with Tobi. Tobi does tell him that the Eight Tails wasn't captured, it was a substitution. And Sasuke said, well, if you want me to go back and capture the Eight Tails, you first have to let me finish the Leaf Village. And Toby's like, let me come with you, there's way too many strong ninjas there right now. And Sasuke declines, but Toby follows him anyways, well, secretly follows Team Heavy. And Sasuke does realize this. Well, he doesn't realize because of Obito's stealth skills, and so he starts the attack. But this time, Naruto, he sees the fireball jutsu. Since he's not as injured, he sees the fireball jutsu while he's walking towards his Ichiraku Ramen, and he literally blitzes through the. He sprints through the village, and says ice release, ice piercing jutsu. And basically it pierces the fireball jutsu from the ground, and it nullifies it, even though the ice the ice was melting because of the heat of the fireball jutsu. And it's that was some heat. And he realizes that there was some steam, and after the steam let out, he sees Sasuke there, standing with his Susanoo already activated, because he doesn't want it. He knows that Naruto is strong. And then out of nowhere, Anbu appear, they surround Sasuke, and then from the middle, Danzo walks in and says, Sasuke Uchiha, you're wanted by the Raikage. We might as well just do them a favor and kill you for him. And then Sasuke says, Danzo, you bastard, you're the one who made Itachi suffer. And Danzo's like, oh, so you found out. And Sasuke's like, why are you saying this so casually? You know that Itachi died because of this. And Danzo's like, he didn't die because of it, it's because of you. You were too ignorant to understand why Itachi would kill his beloved clan and let you live. And Sasuke is just angered by this, and he fires off a Susanoo arrow with infernal release on it. So basically, infernal flame control on it. And it's basically Amaterasu on a Susanoo arrow. And Danzo does get stabbed because of he couldn't really do anything against it. And then Sasuke thinks he killed him, and he basically let out some Amaterasu, basically an Amaterasu flame to kill all the Anbu. And then he sees Danzo standing there again, and he says, how are you still standing? And then Danzo unwraps his I think it was the left side of his, wait, let me search him up. Danzo, let me see, sorry guys, wait. He unwraps the right side of his body, and he shows that, wait, here he shows his left. What the hell? Whatever, left or right, I don't care. And yeah, and this one shows it's the right, and this one shows it's the left. What the hell? Am I bugging? No, I'm not. What kind of BS is this? Whatever. So Danzo unwraps his arm and shows that one of the he has a Sharingan arm, and then he takes the bandage off of his eye and shows that his he had Shisui Sharingan and it's gone blank. And Danzo says, this is what I call the Izanagi. And Sasuke's like, what's the Izanagi? And Danzo says it's a forbidden technique from the Uchiha clan. You give an eye up to rewrite reality. And Sasuke's like, what the hell? And Danzo kept using it, and until he ran out of eyes, and he did his finishing move. Wait, let me search up the name again. I completely forgot. Whatever, he still did that move, and Karin did warn Sasuke about it, and Sasuke did dodge it. And also Naruto does say, Sasuke, if now we fight, we both die. and this is completely BS. Naruto will body Sasuke right now, especially with the power he has, but he doesn't want to make Sasuke jealous, so he says we'll both die. And Obito comes out of nowhere. He knows that Naruto's bluffing. He knows that Naruto will beat him any day, and says, Sasuke, let's retreat. It's true, we need to get more power. And while they retreat, Sasuke says, what do you mean we need more power? How am I meant to get more power? And he says, you will implant Itachi's eyes into your own, and you will unlock the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. And Sasuke says okay to this because he wants to completely annihilate the Leaf Village and Naruto. And that's and then right before the Five Kage meeting finishes, and there is no peace treaty right before this. The cloud, some guy from the cloud arrives and says, Lord Raikage, Lord B has arrived to the Cloud Village. Apparently it was just a substitution, and the Raikage does apologize for his rude behavior, because the Leaf had nothing to do, pretty much nothing to do with this, except for letting a rogue ninja still survive. And then Toby comes out of nowhere and declares war upon all the 5 nations and all the hidden villages, saying that I declare war on all the villages for the 8 and the 9 tails. And so this is how the Shinobi force Allied Shinobi forces is created, and they do send Naruto in that place again, and B as well. So Naruto does fight the 9 tails, and he does meet his parents, both his parents now, and Naruto shows them that he has become that strong. And Kushina does still help Naruto by stopping the 9 tails from moving with her chains, and Naruto does get KCM, not KCM 2, because he still hasn't earned Kuroma's respect, and Kuroma doesn't want to be partners with him yet. And so from here on out, it's kind of similar until it's not completely similar. Naruto is basically spamming his ice jutsus to stop every single one of the white zetsus, and by now Sasuke is recovered, and he does he's about to be recovered, and he is about to get out. And but Naruto's clone, the original Naruto, is still fighting Itachi, and by the time Sasuke is completely recovered and taking off his bandages, Itachi does seal away Nagato. He doesn't really have to seal away anyone, and let's say his partner is reanimated. Who can his partner be? Since Nagato is in the war fighting for the Leaf Village, who could it be? Let's say it's reanimated Itachi and reanimated Fugaku, just cause why not? And Fugaku does have his, I don't know, we don't really have too much information on Fugaku's Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, except for he can make things explode, and Itachi does seal him away just like he did to Nagato, because he doesn't want Fugaku to get in his way, and says, sorry father, I have to do this. And Fugaku understands, because he doesn't want to go against his village again. And so Itachi does go off to he does use the Ishisu's eye, and he does go off to fight to stop the reanimation jutsu. And so the fight with Itachi and Sasuke versus Kabuto was pretty much the same, and except for Sasuke basically using the Kirin as well as all these other techniques, and the Kirin does finish off Kabuto. Basically Kabuto can barely stand, and then Itachi puts him under a Genjutsu, and Kabuto releases the reanimation jutsu. So now we are left with but while this is all happening, Obito is searching for Naruto, and well, first he searches for Nagato, but then he realizes that well, he finds Nagato, and he realizes that Nagato is too protected, so he has to use his warping ability. So he warps through everyone, and literally just since he can't take both of Nagato's eyes at once, he takes one out and just escapes and says, "Thank you, Nagato, for all your services." And he says, "I will be coming back and taking the other Rinnegan and killing you." And Mother is revived by this time, and Naruto's clone does see that how strong Mother is, and the 5 Kage do meet up with Jiraiya and Nagato, and Conan fight with them. Even though Nagato only has one eye now, they do still fight together, and Madara does try to take Nagato's eye until all the Kages tell Nagato to escape, and Jiraiya says, "Nagato, escape. If your eye gets taken, we pretty much lose the war as well, because then Naruto would get sealed really easily with Madara having a Rinnegan." And so Naruto is fighting all the other Jinchuriki by this time, and he does still master the 9 tails. And not only that, when he does the tail beast bomb, he wants to he says to Kurama to wait, and he wants to add a bit of ice release to it. And once the basically once the explosion happens, the air around them does cool down even more, like around so the weather is really cold now, and Naruto's ice release will get even stronger now. So Naruto's ice release is stronger, and he does it with the Kurama avatar, and freezes all the tail beasts, and then takes out the rods, and all the tail beasts are taken back by Nagato's Gedo statue, and then Obito's Gedo statue, and he says it's still the same old, and Obito decides to just summon the 10 tails, and here the war arc does start. So basically the 10 tails arc starts, and the 5 Kage get annihilated until by this time Sasuke is going to the Leaf Village, and they do reanimate the 4 Kages, and they have their history lesson, and then they go out to fight. But this time all the Shinobi Alliance are fighting. The whole Shinobi Alliance is fighting except for the 5 Kage, because they're out cold, and Jiraiya's out cold as well. And Orochimaru goes and heals them all, and Karin helps as well. And Jiraiya is like, "Orochimaru, you still alive?" And Orochimaru says, "Well, right now there's no time to fight. I know you want to fight me right now, but look, there's a war going on. Can you not feel the immense chakra?" And and Jiraiya realizes how massive the chakra he's feeling, and he's like, "What is that?" And Orochimaru's like, "That's the 10 tails." And Jiraiya did hear tales about the 10 tails and myths, but he thought it was always people just joking around, and he never really believed in the 10 tails. So here the fight is going as per normal until the 10 tails is tail beast bomb is released. And what ends up happening is that Naruto does use his last bit of chakra to make a massive ice wall, which is nothing compared to 10 tail beast bomb, and he just goes through it, and Minato does have to save the day again, and he saves the whole Shinobi Alliance. And Naruto said, you sure took your damn time." And Minato's like, "I'm sorry, but look, I'm here now." And all the 4 Kage arrive, and they do they still use the ninja art 4 Crimson Ray formation, and they do stop the 10 tails from moving. And Hashirama adds on some deity gates to completely stop the 10 tails, and Naruto goes in. So Sasuke by this time arrives, and tells Naruto that he's going to become the Hokage. Naruto says, "We'll see about that." And Team 7 were basically Kiba, Sakura, and Sasuke reunite, and not Sasuke is friends with Kiba and says, "Hey Kiba, how you doing?" And Kiba has not been getting too strong, just saying. And Kiba's like, I'm now stronger than you. And Naruto starts laughing, says, "If you're not even stronger than me, how you stronger than Sasuke?" And Kiba's like, "Shut up, Naruto." And Team 8 does unite, Shino, Hinata, and Naruto. They're like, "Hey, how about we show Team 7 that we're the strongest?" Because technically Team 7 is the stronger, because all three of them know Ice Release, and they have Ice Release, and also they can also they have a Hyuga, they have the Ninetales Jinchuriki, and they have an Aburame who is pretty OP with his bugs now. And so they fight, and from here on out the war arc is pretty similar, except for when the Ten-Tails summons his army to fight off since he's immobilized. Naruto just freezes all of them, and Obito realizes that he has to. Obito comes back with a hole in his heart, and Kakashi did beat him, because Kakashi hasn't been getting any stronger. And Naruto says to Sasuke that they might break up. Sasuke melt the ice and make it into water, and Sasuke decides to make. Basically he says he makes let's say lightning clones, and they all do fireball jutsus around the area, and also the third Hokage helps with that with the clone. And Naruto then says purple lightning stream, which is a new technique he invented. It's basically the lightning stream with purple lightning though, and he basically electrocutes the whole army. And then they realize that Obito is on top of the Ten-Tails, and he's starting to absorb the Ten-Tails, and he does become the Jinchuriki of the Ten-Tails. So Naruto is now fighting against Obito with Sasuke, and the fight here kind of goes the same, except for when Naruto decides to add a when Naruto and Sasuke do make that Kurama Susanoo samurai thing, Naruto says, "Let me add a bit of my ice release to this," and he adds ice release to it to make them more durable, and the sword is much stronger. And once they slice, it not only makes things to turns things to ice, but then it cuts the ice so it breaks smoothly. So basically they do that, and they are able to break those truth-seeking sword and truth-seeking I forgot. So basically the truth-seeking weapons, and then they do extract the tail beasts, and Naruto does still do the Takano Jutsu to Obito to change Obito, and then Madara appears out of nowhere, and he basically absorbs, he extracts all the tail beasts. He takes basically he makes Obito do the reanimation jutsu with the Black Zetsu, and he does take his eye. Well, he doesn't take his eye, he already had and he takes his eye this time because Nagato has the other eye, and Nagato is basically out of chakra and he's recovering. And Madara absorbs all the tail beasts, and basically here the same thing happens with Hagoromo giving his chakra to Naruto and Sasuke, and they come back stronger than ever. And Naruto realizes that Madara has both Rinnegan now, and Nagato is just there, barely able to stand up without two eyes. And Naruto heals both of his eyes, and Nagato has two new eyes. Wait, 1 second. And Nagato, from what I've read, apparently Nagato does have two Rinnegan. He just awakened them randomly, and so Nagato has two new Rinnegan, and his chakra is back to full. And also Naruto saves Guy, and he does basically cut the god tree, and then the god tree tells Madara to absorb it, and Madara does still do the infinite Tsukiyomi. And the people who are saved, also since Kakashi still has his Sharingan, and Obito has no eyes, he only has one eye, he decides to regenerate Obito's other Sharingan. So Obito has both Mangekyo Sharingan, and he basically heals Kakashi's eyes, so that Kakashi's Sharingan becomes basically a normal eye to him, so he can activate the Sharingan and deactivate it at any time. So he can still use the Mangekyo Sharingan, and Obito decides that, hey Naruto, thank you, and then Sasuke saves him. So Sasuke does save Naruto, Obito, and Kakashi and Sakura from the Infinite Tsukuyomi, and then they come out and they see that everyone's basically getting wrapped up by the God Tree, and Naruto's like, what did you just do? And Black Zetsu's like, wow, so his Rinnegan adds, his Susanoo is able to protect them from even that. And then Nagato does, Black Zetsu does betray Madara, and Madara does become Kaguya. Well, Kaguya's returned, and now they get transported to a different dimension. And from here on out, the fight is pretty much the same. Even with Ice Style and Purple Lightning, it's not really different. Just that Obito is able to use the Perfect Susanoo on his own, but he realizes that if Kakashi is helping him inside the Susanoo is much stronger. So he brings Kakashi in, and says Sakura and Kakashi and Obito are wielding the Susanoo together. So from here on out, the fight pretty much goes the same, and the Jushu Kaguya, I'm sorry, the war arc was pretty different though. It's just the Kaguya arc wouldn't change much, except for Obito being alive and Naruto using ball release and ice release in both arms with and they do see Kaguya, and the fight is completely different. Naruto bodies Sasuke. Well, the fight is different. He bodies him. He literally, when Sasuke tried to stab him through the chest with his Chidori and kill him, what Naruto did is freeze Sasuke completely and then kick him in the gut. Well, he kicks the ice, and then his knee goes into his Sasuke's gut, and Sasuke gets blown back, and he realizes he lost because Naruto's there with his Purple Lightning ready to basically paralyze. He paralyzes Sasuke, and Naruto's like, look Sasuke, I've won, there's no need to fight anymore. And they do still do the rat sign or whatever. They release the Infinite Tsukuyomi, and everything is fine and dandy. So Kakashi does still become the 6th Hokage, but he says that Obito has saved me and Sakura, and also he helped against the fight against Kaguya. I believe Obito deserves the 6th Hokage spot. If not, I will give, as me being the 6th Hokage, I'll give my spot to Obito. And Obito declines, but then is convinced by Naruto, and he does take it on. And so now Obito and Kakashi share the 6th Hokage spot. Well, Kakashi is like a Shadow Hokage for Obito, even though it would make sense for Obito being the Shadow Hokage, but since Kakashi has the basically Sharingan, Obito asks Naruto if he can still use his healing, and Naruto's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So Obito takes out his the other eye that lets him become basically lets him warp through things. He basically gives it to Kakashi and says, take your eye out, and Kakashi understands what he means, so he takes it out and puts it in, and Naruto heals both their eyes. So Kakashi now has 2 Sharingan, just like Obito. Obito does get a new Sharingan, so Naruto basically generated 3 Sharingan for Obito, which is kind of mad, you know. So that's it for Shippuden. If you want me to do the Tonari arc is pretty much the same, except for Naruto using a bit more jutsu and finesse. So from here on out it's the same, so I'm not gonna make a light goal for Boruto and the rest. If you want me to continue into the Naruto the last movie, you have to get this video to, let's say, 2,000 likes. Yes, 2,000 likes. I know it's impossible, but okay, I'm joking. Let's say 150 likes, yes, minimum, because I have to start making new what ifs. And now that I'm finished with this one, tomorrow I'm going to continue what if Naruto awakened wood style, what if Naruto had was an Adola burst, what if Naruto had half hot half cold, and what if Naruto what if Naruto was in the Anbu. I will continue all of them from now on. These are my new what ifs. So my old what ifs are completely finished. Thank you for listening. I hope you all enjoyed. Have a good day. Stay stay safe and peace. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe. So also join my Discord server to let's get me to 100 members. And also, yes, also subscribe to my two friends, RATREET and Miniman 123, and also follow me on Twitter. If you can get me to 100, if you can get the Discord server to 100 members, I will be doing a Q&A, because we already hit the 300 subscriber mark. Or if you can get both my friends, RATREET and Miniman 123 to 200 subscribers, I will be doing the Q&A anyways. They're really close, sorry, pardon me. And I hope you all at least try to get us to that goal. And please follow me on Twitter. I want to have a Twitter where I socialize with you guys and give updates on my YouTube channel, because I can't do community posts yet since I don't have 1,000 subscribers. Hope you all follow me on Twitter, and take care.